Obviously sponsored a lot of sailing events here in WA. We used to do a lot of the dinghy sailing stuff, Sail Fremantle Sailing Club. And it's probably around about the time that I started personally sailing a lot more again on the East Coast. Friends of mine used to have a sports boat. They were just 24 that was based over in Sydney. And we used to sail over there. Yes, right, well done. You too can take your boat to the East Coast and truck it up and down and sail it around.
Doing it.
But yeah, throughout the whole time I think meeting people, going to lots of regattas, working with Musto, going to boat shows, meeting people, talking to people, going to equestrian events, going to the Volvo Round the World Ocean Race in Auckland, meeting people again and looking at how people run different events, how they make it fun for people, and how they kind of embrace sponsors, I think, along the way. It's sort of led down to the path for me that in being down south in Busselton, I was approached to basically take over and run Geographe Bay Race Week. I think it was 2021, basically post-COVID, 2021-22. One of the years got cancelled due to COVID, obviously. There was a lot of boats involved. And it was cancelled in 2021, I believe. And then the event ran in 2022, but really reduced numbers. So for me, I remember the heyday of Race Week, sailing either on Cruise Control, Dark Energy, or This Way Up or Charlotte, where I think one year it ended up being, I think it's 114 boats at Race Week. Massive, huge. That hasn't happened for quite some time. When I took over in 2022, the previous year, there was 43 boats sailing at Race Week. I think the racing sort of scene had died off down at Race Week. Not quite sure why. And I think the bread and butter of the regatta was basically cruising. Jib and Main, Premier Cruising, Division 1 and 2, really minimal numbers of entries. So for me, when I took over, I kind of had a look at it and I went back through my little black book and I said, okay, how do we get those people back? How do we get the serious racers back? How do we get the Division 1s, the Division 2s, the people that are racing IRC? How do we bring them back? What I was kind of handed over when I took over was not a lot of information. It was, I think basically everyone that was running it was quite burnt out. All I really got was one little simple Gantt sheet of like, you need to contact this person, this person, this person. I kind of ripped it up and threw it away, and I started again. So the first thing I did is that I basically opened my little black book of contacts and I reached out to everyone that I knew from my time at Fremantle Sailing Club, from my time at every event that I've ever been to. And I kind of looked at it and how do I put it? I kind of think myself as being Switzerland, neutral territory. So I've got good friends at Freshie, I've got good friends at Fremantle, I've got good friends at Royal Perth, I've got good friends at Mandurah, East Fremantle, Hillary's, South of Perth Yacht Club. I'm not affiliated with any particular club, so there's no point of interest with me to sort of seal the deal with a particular club. For me, being Switzerland, I'm just actually here for the betterment of sailing and getting mass participation and getting all of you people back on the water without any, how do you put it, predisclosed, I don't know. Agenda, that's the word, agenda. So there's no agenda for me except for let's get people sailing.
And so,
we like your agenda.
So 2023, we had 43 boats. 2024, we had 72. So between those 2 years, I think I looked at my database. I sent out save the date posters. I made sure that I contacted every sailing administrator. I said, can you send this out to your fleets? Can I come up to your yacht club? Can I do a presentation when you're doing Thursday afternoon sailing? Can I put something in front of your people? Can I put a poster up in your foyer? You know, let's work together, because it's not just about your yacht club, it's about sailing in general. So that first year was massive for me. 43 boats was great in the first year, and I think it was a bit of a dummy run for me. I was happy it was only 43. The next year at 72 was really, really good, but it was a lot more work. And then ended up with 83 boats in 2025. 3 boats withdrew very, very late. And then this year, 84 boats, we had 3 late entries as well. I think that the numbers are heading in the right direction. Why in the last year was it sort of like smaller? Well, there's a number of factors there, I think. Flying 15s at South Perth Yacht Club. Traditionally, we normally ended up with about 8 or 9, so this year we only had 3. Our best 3, absolutely, the best 3 forever. And we only ended up with first, seconds and thirds. These guys were so happy. The other thing they did is they had a partner and wife sailing day. That was the best day ever.
Couples Day was good.
Couples Day. We should have more of it.
And the fibers.
So, some of this information coming up at the moment, guys, is obviously the pre-event information. We've used a lot of professional photographers. We've got some really great imagery. I've tried to basically pinpoint it. This is what we put out in 2023 as a bit of a taster. Digital copies were emailed to everybody that was on the database to start with. Hard copies sent to all of the yacht clubs, and basically tried to put the regatta back in front of everyone that we knew that we could. Next slide, thanks Wheels. Press play here.
Oh, that's a good one.
What a location.
Doesn't get better than that.
Not a stink boat inside. Yeah, I think the P have paid for that video that year. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, that's something that we put together at the end of 2023. Just to put it out there and try and get it in front of a few more people.
The most amazing experience yesterday.
We can go to the next slide. That was a Triple M interview that we did, but it goes on for about 4 minutes. Anyway. So yeah, in 2024, obviously, I looked at all the information that I gathered from the previous year's event and put out the save the date poster as quickly as I could. The big thing with Geographe Bay, obviously, is that the more popular that it gets, the more people want to come down. You have to be clever. You have to book your accommodation early. It obviously. And the more accommodation providers, I think, that are knowing when Geographe Bay Race Week's on, they're adjusting their systems and putting their prices up. So I tried to get, obviously, save the date posters out as quickly as I can. We have to work, obviously, 2 to 3 years in advance when we do race week to put these dates out. There's a lot of other events behind the scenes that we've got to negotiate around. Obviously, Ocean Race in WA being one of them. But we've also got in Busselton, it's basically what they classify as the events capital of WA. So the other massive event that we have down there in Busselton, which the City of Busselton turns around to me and says sets precedent, is the Busselton Jetty Swim. That brings about 5,000 people into the town for a weekend. So their dates are always set on the second Saturday of every month in February. So with that, we've obviously got Bunbury return with Freshwater Bay Yacht Club, and then obviously Freshie also has to look at when they're running their event in regards to the Rottnest swim as well. So basically 4 events we all have to negotiate around, so there aren't moving dates around race week. Like this year it was the 13th through to the 19th, and then next year 2027 is going to be the 6th through to the 13th. So it does shift around, but obviously we try and factor in as many different dates as that we can. In 2024, we had the 21st birthday, the Geographe Bay Race Week, so we had a little amended logo there for the event. It's a pretty prominent logo. You see that shirt everywhere. Who owns the Geographe Bay Race Week shirt?
I've got one.
That's not enough people. Come to Race Week next year and buy one. You too can be a proud owner of a Geographe Bay Race Week shirt. 2024, we get that one playing with us. Some of the race days, Tim Campbell, he absolutely loved it. He's never really been on race boats before. He's a wildlife photographer / professional surf photographer, and he really enjoyed being on the boat. I've got endless hours of videos that I could redraw through to. So if anyone needs any, come and see me. Got heaps of footage there. The next thing we did, obviously in 2024, was I sort of played a big focus on engaging local sponsors or sponsors at the Bustleton, Greater South sort of area. Living down south for me, it's about personal relationships. So I sort of reached out to people that I had contact with, or people that I've known throughout my sort of working history, but pretty much wanted to focus on supporting and dealing with people that live down south. So Quality Marine Clothing, Duncan is one of the managers there. I used to work with Duncan at Musto. He provides all of the marine clothing and stuff at our event. West Wind Distillers, they're a local company down in Quarramuk. They've got a great little local distillery and a tasting house in Cowtown. They provide all of our gin, rum, whiskey, and ready to drink gin and tonic for the event. Tim Campbell's been our professional photographer for the last couple of years. Greenskin Wine, for those of you that don't know, Greenskin Wine, obviously Mike and Kim have been prominent down south winemakers and basically wine producers for a number of years. They provide some great wine for us during the event. Port Geographe Marina, we can't obviously run our event without the support of Port Geographe Marina. Liberty Rural, fuel your fuel up for you. 1980, 1990. Who remembers that in the room? Well, if you go to Liberty Rural in Bustleton, they still do it. They still fill your fuel up for you. That's good country service. I love it. Ocean West Charters. Gary has a couple of charter boats in the southwest, so if you're interested in sailing, or if you wanted to basically learn a little bit more about sailing, he runs RYA affiliated courses, and you can get your skipper's accreditation through those guys. Doyle Sales obviously help us out down there, but like off the beach classes, state championships, nationals throughout the year. So amazing team of volunteers and race officials down at GBYC, and busy place. But yeah, love the team that I work with down there. So obviously, a big focus for me has been on trying to get as much information as we can out to the media, promoting the sport. I think it's a big thing that we don't see a lot of. I know that behind the scenes, Ed and and Warren trying to do the best that we can, obviously, with media. And I think Sail GP, when it was here, was phenomenal. It really sort of opened the eyes of the wider sort of community in regards to sailing. But I think the sport that we kind of love and appreciate, it's sort of left alone, which I think is a bit sad sometimes, because I think we've got a lot to offer. Got a lot to offer media. The sport that we do is extreme at some points, and so I try and tell the story as best as I can. How I do that, a lot of press releases, a lot of information sent out to media, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of knocking on doors, and unfortunately nowadays a lot of journalists don't really want, you basically got to force feed them the information. So if you can write the press release for them, if you can tell them what they need to write, it's what happens. So my tip would be just pre-write what you want to write and send it across, and little do you know, it might end up in the paper. So during the event, obviously, Channel 7's a pretty good supporter. I've got some good contacts through Channel 7. We get some great coverage. Can we click on that one there, Wheels, do you think? All good if we can't. But yeah, obviously, each year that the event goes on, I spread and I learn, and I sort of send more information and daily sailing updates and photo packages to Sail World, My Sailing, and obviously post-event, pre-event and during. I obviously try and send as much information through to all of the sailing administrators that I can at all of our clubs, so that just to make everyone jealous. People that aren't down at Race Week, I love the fact that they send through some great photos and make everyone feel jealous that they're not coming down to Race Week. So 2025, again, we did a Save the Day poster, Feb 15 through to 21, and then following that up after that, we did a Nominations Are Alive. Each year, obviously, I redo this event banner. The event banner runs through all of our sales documentation. It's obviously my email header. As you drive into Busselton, we have an 11 metre by 4 metre digital screen. That is put up there to basically promote the event so that the people that are driving down south can see it. It's used on all race documentation and it's sent through all sponsors. I ask sponsors to put it in there as their email signatures. Shelter Brewing puts it on theirs, and Shelter Brewing sort of puts it on the cans. That's in Cordaro, Geographe Bay Race Week Lager in 2025. First year that we did the exclusive Race Week Hawaiian shirt. We've only done it once. Do you want to bring it back to 2027, 2028? Pink? Well, we know you will. We'll sell one.
Two.
Sold. Next thing we did, in conjunction with the Busselton Chamber of Commerce and Industries and MRBTA, which is the Margaret River Busselton Tourism Association, I came up with a crazy idea to basically engage all of our local businesses to offer a special something for when you guys were down south. So we approached all of the local businesses and gave wristbands out to every competitor just to make you guys a little bit more sort of visible while you're in town, even though you all wear Race Week. Well, every year, obviously, the day that the regatta finishes is the day that the next regatta for the next year starts. Everyone likes to think behind the scenes that I get to have some quiet time, but no. My brain works overtime 24/7, and I've already got ideas about how to make the event bigger and bigger and better into the future. My big focus is basically bringing the fun back to sailing. I think there's a lot of emphasis on competition, which is great. I think the biggest thing with Race Week though is, for me, it's a regatta for everyone. Whether you're a jib and main sailor, a serious IRC racer, a cruising boat that has wants to turn sausages while you're running downwind for your crew. That's why we're there, right? It's about getting more people to use their boats that they've got to go have fun and go sailing. And what better place to do it than Bustleton? Come down, enjoy it. So moving on, obviously, 2026, if we can get this one going, girls, I love this video. We won the Australian Sailing WA Sports Promotion Award in 2024 and 2026. Geographe Bay Yacht Club was the West Australian Sailing Best Club Category B, obviously it's a small little country club, we won that last year. Winner of the City of Bustleton Event of the Year. If anyone's a Fremantle, I mean not a Fremantle, a West Coast Eagles supporter. I got presented that by Mark McCoskey, who's now living and residing down south, and doing some special sports enhancement programs at one of our local schools. So Mark and I talked about sailing and sport and footy and cricket and stuff, and we're working together behind the scenes, just about involving kids and getting kids off their iPads and actually back out there and on the water or out there on the sports playing field. So, yeah. With that, got shortlisted for the Australian Sailing Awards National Award, which I went over to Sydney for last year with these wonderful people from Freshwater Bay Yacht Club. Thanks for accommodating me on your table. What a fun night that was. Yep. Went to the pit. I don't remember going to the pit.
Missed your plane.
We didn't come away with the win that year, but I'm hoping this year, with enough support from everyone here in the room, we'll get over the line and get back over to Sydney for the National Sailing Awards and bring that one home for Geographe Bay Race Week. Got an email back through 2 days ago from the City of Bustleton, 32-page document that I love updating, it's so great. But I've had to do that yearly, and through the success of the last 4 years that I've been running the regatta, I went back to them and I said, well, I just can't keep doing this every year. It's so onerous. Surely there's another way we can go about this. So I've just signed on for a 3-year contract with the City of Bustleton, which I think is great. I can basically guarantee that the regatta will be held in Bustleton for the next 3 years. For 2026, proposals have gone forward to the Cape 31 and the VX1 associations to run the nationals down at Bustleton involved with Race Week, so that'll be great. Always on the lookout, talking about possible IRC state championships as well. South Perth Yacht Club, possibly running the Tally Hop series with the Flying 15s in conjunction with Freshie. Let's get more Flying 15s down there. And then Andy from Freshwater Bay contacted me the other day talking about bringing the Etchels down to 2027 as well. So, look out. The next thing we probably want to do, Travis and I have been talking about for a couple of years, looking at a Australia Cup Challenge. How we're going to do that, I'm not quite sure yet. But we want to figure out a way to get all of the 6 Elliott 7s from Royal Perth down to Geographe Bay. Want to charter those boats out. We could charter them to local members or local people here in WA, and we could possibly do that in the first year just to do a test trial, but I like aiming big, and I think I'd like to kind of do an Australia Cup Challenge where let's get a team from Sydney, let's get a team from Adelaide, let's get a team from Queensland, couple from Western Australia, and basically, you know, like let's use the Elliott 7s and create something really, really great, which I think would be great for a media exposure here as well. Like, let's get some prominent teams from CYCA or, you know, RPA in Sydney, Adelaide, bring some teams over here, adult teams, not necessarily youth, and also looking at possible female crews to come over and do that cup challenge with us as well. So what do we need to do with that, Trav? It's happening. Build a big flatbed trailer is on, it's happening. Trevor Milton's bringing them down. Oh, sorted, done. Beauty. So for me, I want to push for more focus on media and obviously focus on women in sailing and obviously to win the National Sports Promotion Award. Geographe Bay Race Week 100 Club, obviously being a small little country club, we have, as I said before, we've only got 100 and so full-time members. We don't have thousands of members paying lots and lots of money and marinas full of boats paying lots and lots of money. So I came up with this incentive a couple of years ago. So Race Week 100 Club, basically there's 100 tags or 100 members at $100 each for the whole year. Through that, I obviously we do quarterly beer runs where 3 to 5 people win a carton of beer through Shelter Brewing. Get those delivered to your door. Any of the other sponsors that are involved, like We Are Feel Good Sunscreen, we send sunscreen packs out to people. At the moment, we've got 92 memberships sold. We've only got 8 available. So if anyone is interested and wants to become a member of the 100 Club, it's less than the price of a coffee per week to help the little country club do great things. I should be in car sales. I don't know. Come and see me.
That's it. Scott,
Yes, mate.
one available.
One available. You want 7?
No, 8. I've already got one.
Yes, I know.
One available.
One available. Dave Kenny at the back there.
Okay, so I've only got 6.
Done. So that's about it from me. Thanks very much. I hope I've entertained you all. Gave you a little bit of insight as to why Geographe Bay has kicked in goals again. Obviously, nice purple spinnaker there, Hillary. Do you like that final shot there? Love it. Love it. Dates of 2027, 6th through to the 12th. Book your accommodation. Any questions from the room?